I don't even know where he's sitting at.
Oh my goodness. It is that sweet, sweet time of year. 1 day away. Basketball is back, and I am so pumped to be here with you guys. Did a nice little post-draft review. Going to roll through that in the email I send out. I will also send out the PDF of the draft review. I will link the Google Sheets. Plenty of good stuff on there, like history of the league, past team names, who's everybody's keeper. If you have any questions about the rules, you could also just ask them if you did. And just the link to this video. But guys, I'm just so fucking happy to be back as your motherfucking 3-time champion. Woo-hoo! Man, you guys need to step up your game because I'm getting too damn good at this league. Oh, shit. Okay, let's get into this review. This is not a rankings. I just went from first pick in the draft, which was Tim, all the way to last pick in the draft, Nick, and just an overall review of your draft strategy and how I personally think you did. And basically, how I think you did is how you really did, because that, in my opinion, is the only one that matters. Okay, starting off with Tim. First overall pick, reunited with Jokic. First impression on this team, super well-rounded. Joker's just a do-it-all guy. You can literally build any kind of team you want around him. He's the perfect player. Tim backs that off with Garland as the second pick. I believe second pick. Let's see, did I already fuck that up? Let's see. Let's see here, real quick. Draft results. Yeah, Darius Garland and Pascal Siakam. Just three guys who complement each other. They provide in all categories. It's just going to be a nice, well-rounded team right there. Then you have the forward combo of Saddiq Bey, Franz Wagner, and Carter Jr. That just looks like a blast, and they should bolster a bunch of categories for Tim. And his team's going to do really well in percentages. In my mind, the best value pick that Tim had was Malcolm Brogdon in the 12th round. I just think he's going to absolutely shine with Boston. He could even slide up into the starting lineup if there's an injury to Derek White or to last year's defensive player of the year, Marcus Smart. The only thing he's just got to stay healthy. You could say that for anyone in the league, but with Brogdon, it seems to be especially hard for him to stay healthy. Negatives for Tim's team. Only two players on this team average more than 9 rebounds a game. I believe it was Jokic. Or I don't even know. Yeah, Jokic and maybe Carter Jr. Other than that, he's going to struggle to keep up in rebounds. His team is also full of people who score well, but not amazingly, so he could struggle to keep up with some of the top-tier teams in the league as far as scoring and threes go. Gordon Hayward's washed. And Tim also did back-to-back Philly picks in the 5th and 6th round, Tobias Harris and Tyrese Maxey. Both of those are fine guys. Nothing wrong with them. Maxey's actually looking pretty big. I think he got jacked this offseason. But the league is usually won with hitting on those 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th picks, middle round picks. So you're going to have to hope that both those guys really shine. Tim scored in the top half of categories. This is based on the season-long projections after our draft came out. Top half categories for Tim were field goal percentage, free throw percentage, and assists. Bottom half of the league, he was in three-pointers, points, rebounds, steals, blocks, and turnovers. He's last in blocks. I will say a lot of those categories, though, he was around the 6th or 7th position, so not bottom of the league. But just good baseline for Tim's team. They're going to have to really pump up their numbers, though, to maybe keep up with people who are top in the league in those categories. Okay, on to the second overall pick. We had Tom. Impressive team. Building blocks are there, but they're going to lack the scoring. Positive-wise, Tim goes Embiid overall with that first pick. Stock couldn't be higher. He's coming off his best season, second place in MVP voting. And I think he's just going to set the world on fire again, barring any health issues. He's definitely wanted to take the 76ers to the finals, as well as Tom's team. Then Tom has a trio of Ja, Darren Fox, and Giddey to make a nice, really good guard trio. That's just going to be a fun team to watch. His forward depth is insane. I think Tom has almost all of the good small forwards in the league. Because just looking around at some other teams, mainly my own, I do not. There's just a lot of lineup flexibility there. It'd be awesome if PG-13 could stay healthy and on the court and ball out like he kind of did years and years ago. And then to cap it all off, last pick of his draft was AO for the Bulls. Could be an absolute steal. Best value pick, in my opinion, for Tom's team is going to be Keegan Murray in the 9th round. I was very upset that you snagged him. I really wanted him on my team. I think he's going to eventually make the starting lineup. It's only been preseason hype so far, but he just seems to dominate whenever he gets the ball in his hands. Really, really like that pick. Negatives for Tom's team. They're going to struggle to keep up in points of threes without a doubt. Everyone, depending on whether you have a draft strategy or not, you're always going to be punting some categories. But I'm struggling to remember a team that won it all or wasn't finishing near the top who didn't ball out in points scored. I also think Valanciunas is probably going to take a step back this year with Zion supposedly being full-time go. Going to be losing out on some points and rebounds to him. I don't think he's going to be like a nobody by any means, but last year he averaged, I think, between 16 and 17 points and a little over 10 rebounds. I would expect those numbers to take a dip. Tom placed in the top half of categories in field goal percentage, rebounds, steals, blocks, and turnovers. Meanwhile, in the bottom half, he was in free throws, three-pointers made, the lowest point total, and assists. On to Drew. Let me just say, bravo, Drew. Chop City. This is a 3-shooting team. Drew could have just drafted his first playoff caliber team. Don't know if it was all on purpose, but it ended up working out that way. I personally, some other people might feel this way too, but thought the Towns' 3rd overall pick I was a bit skeptical there, but he could be the perfect guy for Drew's team because I think his offensiveness is going to be one of the focal points of their team. He already shoots like 5 or 6 threes a game. He could go up to 9 threes a game. Who knows? But pairing him with Bane, Van Vliet, and Gary Trent Jr., they're going to make it fucking rain. A lot of Mike Breen bang shots. That was a terrible impression, but whatever. Drew's also top 3 in both stock categories. Best value pick for Drew is going to be Jamal Murray in the 9th round. He's still not back to full contact yet. I don't think that means like full 5-on-5 practices, but hoping he's getting there soon. He's probably going to be load managed, if not the entire season, at least the first half until the All-Star break. But I really would like to see him back on the court with Jokic. Just going back to the bubble, remember how fun that was, and just would like to see him play healthy. Negatives for Drew's team. While he's projected to hit the most threes in the league, he's projected to be bottom 3 in points scored. Can't really imagine how that works out, but it is for Drew's team. He's also going to be lacking in the rebound and assist department, which will diminish his double-double output. I feel like this is going to be Drew's going to really blow out some teams in some categories and just get blown out in others. So I feel like he's due for some really close matchups this year. Some could fall his way, some could not. But he's going to have to do some work in his lacking categories there. CP3 is really old. You also took Mo Bamba with your 6th pick. I love me some Mo Bamba, but I think he's like the 3rd backup center right now for the Magic. So that was a strange pick. I don't really get that one. And I think, Drew, if you had taken Luka Doncic with the 3rd overall pick instead of Towns, I truly think you could be vying for like a top spot in the league. You would be a scary team. Top half categories for Drew: free throw, most in 3-pointers made, most in steals, top 3 in blocks, top in turnovers. Bottom half cats, he's going to be the lowest field goal team, points, rebounds, and lowest assist turnout. On to Big Daddy Al. First impression, At first I was like, I'm not really seeing it with Alec's team, but the more I look at it, I'm starting to like it. Goes Giannis 4th overall. Dude's just a monster. He does everything. He'll give you the occasional triple-double, and a lot of times he doesn't even need to play the fourth quarter, but he's still at like 28-plus points, 12-plus boards. He just does everything but shoot free throw percentage as well. And that doesn't really matter because Alec followed that up with LeBron James, who also doesn't hit free throws well, but he does just about everything. So this is going to be just a super complimentary team. I think Alec is projected number 1 in points and number 2 in rebounds and assists turnouts. Best value pick for Alec is going to be Anthony Simons in the 11th round. Dame being out last year, dude went off in the second half. He was a monster. I personally don't have faith in Dame being all the way healthy / making it through the year / making it through the year on the Blazers. So I think just give the young guy the ball and let him cook. Negatives. Alec goes with the hometown pick in his third round of Bradley Beal. He's an excellent scorer, decent peripherals, but I think it was a pretty big miss not taking Cade Cunningham here. He's basically LeBron James light and would already complement a strong team better than Beal could. Who knows what's going to happen with the Wizards this year because they're not top 6 in the East. Barring some kind of injury, they could tank, they could shelve Beal, they could always trade him, although I don't know if they could since he just signed that big deal. But I just think we could have gone a different direction than Beal in that round. Also, Nurkic will never be healthy, so you cannot count on him. Top half categories for Alec: 3-pointers made, most in points, rebounds, and assists. Bottom half categories: field goal, he's going to be the lowest in free throw, steals, blocks, and turnovers. On to Mr. Oshup, H-Town Olsen. The return of Doncic. He's back. John could not be more ecstatic that he fell to him. That being said, this is the most un-Olsen looking team I have ever seen, and yet he's projected to be top 3 in 3-pointers, points, rebounds, assists, and steals. That's 5 categories right off the bat, and this didn't account for double-doubles or triple-doubles, which he could probably do pretty well in. There's just a ton of fucking distribution on this team. So many assists. It's probably just going to be a given that Olsen's going to win that category every week. If these young Houston dudes can just ball out, even though they probably won't be winning games and don't get shut down, there's a lot of promise there too. John also won the Cade Cunningham sweepstakes. Just another freebie there for Olsen. He's probably going to take a big leap this year and make himself even better, make us all feel worse for not keeping him, or for not going for him. Best value pick, John was talking about this over the weekend, Kevin Porter Jr. in the 12th round. Just signed that big deal, even though I think it's like an $80 million deal, but only $15 million of it is guaranteed. He's just an all-around contributor, points, rebounds, assists. He's gonna do it all for John like half of the other players on his team. Negatives, the Dame pick in the second round scares me. I get that there's value there, but they're already a bad team and have no incentive to rush Dame back. He has been playing the preseason, but not very well. I'm personally not a fan. Other than that, Jimmy Butler hasn't played 60-plus games in over 3 seasons. Health is a huge concern. Load management is a huge concern. Who knows where he's going to be at towards the end of the season. Top half categories for John are 3-pointers made, points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks. Bottom half categories are both percentages and turnovers. On to Chris. First impression, availability is the best ability. That being said, I'm still fairly positive about this team. There's cautious excitement. I really like, so Chris went Harden, Sabonis, and SGA. I don't know if that was 3 right in a row, but it was close enough. Again, kind of like some other teams in the league, those guys do a bit of everything and should help bolster like the 3 main categories of points, assists, and rebounds. One would think that Michael Porter Jr. could finally play, 40-plus games in a season, maybe 50. Who knows with back injuries, though. Devin Definitely don't think we're seeing the Rocket version of James Harden again, but he seems to be reinvigorated for his love of basketball and conditioning. Looks to be wanting to ball out alongside Embiid. And also, I have a soft spot in my heart for Sabonis, too. Kind of went through some growing pains last year with Sacramento being on a new team, but him and De'Aaron Fox should be in sync this season and ready to go. Best value pick for Chris, Jared Vanderbilt in the 10th round. Not a flashy guy. You're not going to see him player of the week, player of the month, or anything, but he's an efficient guy, scoring-wise, and he's probably going to have a little bit more leash being on a tanking Jazz team. Should come out with some decent rebound and stock numbers. Negatives. Chris, I don't know why in the hell you didn't keep Cade Cunningham. Literally could have been the perfect guy to go alongside Harden and Sabonis. He was yours to have in the 5th round, which is 2 rounds behind his ADP. Ant's a good keeper. He's fun. I get it, but Cade would have been so much more helpful in the deficiencies that you're lacking, like rebounds and assists. Also betting big on Michael Porter Jr., Jaren Jackson Jr., and John Wall, who hasn't played in almost 3 years. That's a injury-prone little slope your team's going to be teetering on all season long. Top half categories for Chris are field goal percentage, rebounds, blocks, turnovers. Bottom half categories are free throws, three-pointers, last in points, assists, and steals. On to your boy. I fucking love my team. What else would I say? But I fucking love this team. I'm going to have a fuckload of threes and dunks. Get ready to ball out. First time around the block with Chef. I'm excited. Can't wait to. I think once I watch him play 2 or 3 games, I'm just gonna be ecstatic about him. But I'm expecting nightly highlight reels, like the game that Tom went to when they were playing OKC, and he hits that 30-foot dagger to win the game. I'm expecting that on a nightly basis from Steph. I also put my 3 big men of AD, Ayton, and Allen up against anyone in the league. They're going to rake on the boards in double-doubles. I also think I'm projected 2nd overall in three-pointers, so I'm coming for you, Drew. Jalen Green's going to go ham. I can't fucking wait to watch him. He's supposed to be averaging like 20-plus points a game, could average 2 or 3 threes a game. It's going to be nuts. Best value pick, personally, I think is going to be Norman Powell in the 12th round. He's already getting shouts out as 6th man of the year buzz. And with PG-13, Paul George, and Kawhi's injury history, I think he's definitely going to have he's going to have a long leash and get as many shots up as you want if any of those guys are hurt. Negatives for my team, after spending picks 2 through 4 on bigs, kind of forgot to grab some more till too late in the draft. So my season-long rebound projection isn't looking great. I think week to week I'll be all right, but season-long probably won't be amazing. And of course, LaMelo starting the year hurt with a bum ankle is just a fucking major bummer. I'm hoping it doesn't hold him back for too long, but with how bad the Hornets are thinking they're going to be this year, they could definitely shut him down at some point, and that would piss me off. I'd be so upset if that happened. I also am very bad at stocks this year. My team's not going to do shit in steals or blocks. Top half categories for me are free throw percentage, three-pointers made, points, and turnovers. Bottom half categories are rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks. Okay, on to Mr. Jackson. Jackson, first 5 of 6 picks in your draft. Absolutely crushed it. Couldn't have done a better job. I love it. Rest of the team, big ol' stinker. With the first 5 of 6 picks, Jackson goes Tatum, Booker, Mitchell, Zion, and Ingram. That is incredible. They're all young. Besides Zion, the injury history is little to none. And they give you everything. Threes, points, assists, rebounds. These guys are all fully confident, ready to go. If Zion could play 60 or more games, this team is going to be a blast. Jackson should finish the league top 3 in free throw percentage and assists. Best value pick for Jackson is going to be Keldon Johnson in the 7th round. Last season, he averaged 2.1 threes, 17 points, 2.1 assists, and almost a steal a game. Now that DeJounte's gone, there will be plenty of shots for him to take up, especially since they're going to be tanking. I think they're just going to let him throw it up quite a bit. Should be full of stats for Jackson there. Negatives on this team, you're going to get wiped in rebounds every single week. The only two people on this team with a center designation are the often injured Kristaps Porzingis and Mr. Triple Single himself, Draymond Green. Jackson, that team name is just sitting there for you right now if you want it. Triple Single. Just if you want it, take it. Don't give me any credit. You should use it. You also kept Dennis Schroeder. You took him with the 128th pick, and he's ranked in the 250s, and now he's hurt and could be out multiple weeks. That one was a real head-scratcher. Didn't understand that one too much. Jeremy Grant, I think, is also going to take a pretty major step back now that he's not going to be the focal point of the offense in Portland. He's a good glue guy, but you're not going to see the point totals he's been putting up in Detroit. And Kyle Lowry will probably hurt himself flopping. Jackson, top half stats, quite a few. Free throw percentage, three-pointers made, points, assists, steals, turnovers. Bottom half categories, field goal percentage, rebounds, and blocks. Saw dog, my dog. First impression, lineup is full of super solid dudes, but leaves me feeling a little, I don't know. I took a first look at Sawyer's lineup, and I couldn't understand how this team was projected to lead the league in rebounds. But if you take a little bit of a closer look, that everyone on his team contributes to that category. Tyrese and DeJounte Murray are a hell of a guard combo. Hallie does everything efficiently, I know, because I had him last year and won with him. And he's going to put up as many shots as I can. Indiana's going to be terrible. They're going to let him do whatever he wants. Even though DeJounte's going to be backing up Trey, he should still be the second option on offense. I don't think he's going to be lacking for points, and still will rack up rebounds and assists pretty easily. Best value pick for Jackson, Julius Randle, 7th round. Is he a second-team All-NBA guy? No. Is he as bad as he was last year? Also no. He's somewhere right in the middle, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is a very good basketball player. Really hoping he's got a bounce-back year in him. I know the media were on his ass last year, probably in his own head too, but it'd be a lot of fun if he could get back to somewhat of his normal self. And plus with Jalen Brunson being there, that should definitely take some pressure off of him. Negatives for Sawyer's team. You got RJ Barrett and Russ on your team, so goodbye to your field goal percentage. That's gone. Sawyer's teams are normally pretty center heavy, and I'm a little surprised that his number 1 and 2 center options are Vucevic and Zubats. I like those guys, but Vooch points per game have dropped the past 3 seasons in a row. You're also, the projections for this team in rebounds and assists, I think, is kind of misleading. You're tops in the league in both of those, especially rebounds. But I think those projections might be relying on Russell Westbrook a little too much. He's already hurt. Status up in the air for opening night tomorrow. He's going to be on the second unit. I really don't think he's going to produce like the projections say he will. This was Sawyer's, last pick, second to last pick in the draft, I think. Let me see here. Team. Yeah, second to last pick in the draft. I can't fault you for taking him. I'm absolutely not doing that. I just think the projections are a little off base because of him. Like I said, top half categories for Sawyer are points, rebounds, assists, and steals. He's supposed to get the most rebounds in the league. Bottom half categories are field goal, free throw, three-pointers made, blocks, and turnovers. Finally, last person in the draft, Sir Nicholas. This team is about the drama, ladies and gentlemen. Fuck that cohesion. They ain't having it. Positives, the upside, offensive upside is definitely there. Started off the draft with KD, Trey, Kyrie, and DeRozan. He's got Poole and Clay in the middle rounds. Hoping for a resurgent Clay season. That would just be fun. Because he's the one likable warrior, according to half of the people in our league. Poole also proved himself last season, getting that $140 million contract. He's going to get some shots this year, too. I think they're definitely going to rest their starters a little bit more, so Poole could be a really good pick right there. KD's going to come out blazing. We all know he's on Twitter, seeing what everybody says. I think he's going to come out and try and set the world on fire. Nick is first in free throw percentage and blocks, and number 2 in turnovers. Best value pick for Nick. I'm going out on a limb here, but I'm going to say Isaiah Stewart in the 14th round. I can't imagine he's as bad as he was last year. He's had a decent preseason so far. He's hit 7 of 18 3-pointers. He just needs, if he could just average a few more points per game this year to go along with his 8.7 rebounds and 1.1 blocks per game, that's a very solid pick in the last round of the draft. Negatives for Nick. He took 5 pairs of players on the same teams. I don't know if that's really a negative per se, but it's worth mentioning. Top of that list is KD and Kyrie. Signing up for both of those guys after what went on in the playoffs last year and this offseason is a hell of a draft strategy. I hope it goes well for you. Miles Turner doesn't stay healthy. Trey's assist numbers are going to take a hit with DeJounte in the mix. Horford is old. Robert Williams won't even start the season on the court and has trouble staying there in the first place. And you're projected last in rebounds and steals. Top half categories for Nick. Field goal, turnovers, tops in the league in both free throw and blocks. Bottom half cats, 3-pointers made, points, rebounds, assists, and steals. He's bottom in rebounds and steals. Gentlemen, that is your draft review. Sorry it was so long, but I was geeking out over this. I'm excited. Tomorrow night is the first night of the season. Set your lineups, or I'll do it for you, motherfuckers. Good luck.